Ian Crawford of the Tippie College of Business is nationally recognized for his work and research about engagement in the workplace. Recently, he made a presentation about engagement, and these are excerpts from that presentation.
So what is engagement? Well, there's many different uses of the term. This right here is a symbol. Several years ago, I cashed out all of the savings that I had to buy one of these and to present it to my sweetheart as a symbol of the commitment I was willing to make of my whole person forever to her. Another popular use of the term comes from this man, who, when sitting on the bridge of the Starship Enterprise and ready to jump to warp speed, would raise the finger and, see if I can do it, would say, "Engage." I worked on that impression for a while. A third meaning of the term is derived from this device right here. This is a yoke, and it's used to harness a pair of oxen together to pull a load. And what's fascinating about it is that when two oxen harnessed together and properly trained pull a load, they can pull more than double the combined weight of the two oxen pulling alone. So I go back to the original definition about what is employee engagement given by Bill Kahn when he did a study to define this term in work contexts for the first time nearly 25 years ago. He described engagement as people harnessing themselves to their work roles and employing and expressing their energy physically, emotionally, and cognitively. And you see a lot of the dynamics from those analogies that we just described in this definition. People committing their whole selves, getting themselves in gear, or harnessing themselves to their load.
So what does it mean to be engaged? You see people who are completely there. They bring all of themselves to their work role. They're not just robotically present going through the motions. Where does it come from? In the analogies Ian used, it takes more than one person. It takes two to engage. There's a role for the individuals as well as a role for the organization. There are three main factors that predict whether people are willing to invest themselves fully in their work role. First, when people feel a sense of meaning, or they know how what they do makes a difference in their organization and makes a difference in the world, they're more likely to invest themselves. Second, when people feel a sense of support or a freedom to be who they really are, and they feel security, that they can take the risks of initiative without fearing the negative consequences, then they are more likely to invest their whole selves in their work roles. Third, when people feel a sense of competence that they know what they're doing, they know how to do their job, or they know where and how they can find the resources to get better, then they are more likely to fully invest themselves in their work roles. Research shows that as people feel a sense of these things, they're much more likely to invest themselves completely in their work roles. If you're familiar with the questions used in the Working at Iowa survey, you know that the survey does not actually ask about employees' engagement. This year, an engagement index has been added that does ask about physical energy, mental energy, and emotional energy at work. There are a total of 9 short questions, and answering these questions will not add any significant time to the survey. The original Working at Iowa questions and the new Engagement Index will provide us with the information that will lead to greater faculty and staff engagement.
When it comes to the Working at Iowa survey, how should you think about it? More than anything, it's a conversation starter. We're asking people for their opinions about whether they feel like they have a sense of meaning, of support, and of competence. And then we presume that if they do, they're more likely to be engaged. But the survey is just the start. Where the engagement really comes about is in this follow-up, one-on-one conversations, small group discussions, and large group meetings where you talk about what are our unit's strengths in terms of meaning, in terms of competence, in terms of support. When you have high scores, you should be celebrating those successes because they're not guaranteed. If you have a really engaging place to work, that takes a lot of effort to create and sustain. So you should celebrate those successes What makes this place special to work? How did we create that? How can we preserve that? Also, as through the survey results you identify areas for improvement, those present great opportunities to have conversations about what can we do to improve. And small conversations aggregated over time with small changes that are made end up creating very big differences.